Many men feel that their life is slipping through their fingers. They blame work, time, circumstances. They think they cannot move forward because everything moves too fast, because the day is not enough, because everything is urgent. But the real problem is not outside, but in how they look at it. Life does not arrange itself or order itself by chance, it is mastered with intention. I, Thomas Shelby, have come to realize that if you don't make the decision to bring order, chaos will do it for you. And that chaos not only steals your energy, it also consumes your dreams. Every day without structure is a day lost. You don't lack hours, you lack focus. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right thing. When you get organized, you don't just manage your schedule, you direct your destiny. Success is not a stroke of luck, but the sum of days well spent. Deciding to organize your life today can change everything. Your mind will find calm, your purpose will align, and opportunities will begin to open instead of close. Because when you put order inside you, the world stops dragging you down and starts cooperating with you. Getting organized is not a luxury, it is an urgency. It is the line that separates the man who moves forward from the man who drowns in distractions. Most people live on autopilot. They get up late, run from one place to another, forget commitments, arrive late, postpone decisions. They end up exhausted, confused, and frustrated. And they think they need more motivation, when in reality what they lack is order. Without organization, your energy is scattered, your mind is clouded, and your goals fall apart. The first step is to stop improvising. Every moment of your day has a real impact on your future, no matter how small it may seem. It doesn't mean becoming a slave to the clock or endless lists, but to stop giving away your hours to chance. Time is your most valuable resource, and it is not infinite. Every minute without direction is an opportunity lost forever. That's why you must design your day. What time do you wake up? How do you use your first hour? What do you repeat that doesn't add up? When are you most productive? What you don't measure doesn't get better. And without structure, you'll go in circles. But order is not limited to time, it also includes your space. A chaotic environment reflects a cluttered mind. The place where you work, sleep, and rest should help you move forward, not distract you. It's not about perfection, but functionality. Everything in its place, every tool available, every corner aligned with your progress. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you think. The outer clutter is just a reflection of the inner clutter. Your habits, your emotions, your relationships, your finances, everything requires structure. Without order you will live putting out fires, confused and without clear vision. Order doesn't shackle, it frees. It gives you space to rest, think better and decide with clarity. It gives you back the certainty that you are in charge, not at the mercy of whatever comes along. Organization is discipline applied. It is understanding that your life will not order itself, that if you don't shape it, it will deform, and that if you don't sustain it, it will collapse. That does not make you rigid or boring, it makes you powerful. Because he who controls his time, his space, and his decisions, also controls his future. In a world full of distracted and disorganized men, the one who lives with structure distinguishes himself, inspires respect and achieves results. He does not depend on the emotion of the moment, but on a system that supports him. And that system begins the day you decide to organize your life, even if it is uncomfortable at first, even if it is difficult. Because in that effort begins your true transformation. An orderly life is not born of goodwill, it is built on systems. And what is a system? A set of intelligent decisions repeated daily, without negotiation or excuses. Thinking big, but acting without structure, only creates frustration. Dreams grow, but the habits that should sustain them do not appear. Ideas shine, but the calendar is filled with empty urgencies. There is talent, yes, but the energy escapes among interruptions, distractions, and tasks that do not bring you closer to any real goal. Months go by and nothing changes. Without a system that accommodates your life, you end up putting out fires that are born precisely from not having planned. To get organized is to learn to decide with high-value criteria. Not all activities are the same. Some push you forward, others just take up space. Some connect you with your vision, others give you the illusion of being busy. The average man confuses movement with progress. He runs all day and arrives at night exhausted, but stagnant. You can't afford that self-deception. You need clarity on the essentials. What tasks move the needle? What habits sustain your energy? What actions translate into tangible results? Those are the ones that must come first. The rest get eliminated, delegated, or postponed. Make it simple and blunt. Define 3 daily priorities. Not 10, not 20, 3. Write them down the night before. And the next day, before you open messages, before you check networks, before the world bursts in, execute them. Fulfill yourself first. When the important happens before the urgent, your life changes pace. You regain control, serenity, and the certainty that you are building something meaningful. Most things are directed, you must direct. And direction does not appear by magic, it is designed, protected, and repeated. Organizing your life also requires you to learn to say no. Without boundaries, you become a victim of other people's agendas. Saying yes to everything fragments you, drains you, and robs you of time for what really matters. Every yes to the irrelevant is a no to the valuable. An organized man is not the one who does the most, but the one who does the right thing. For that you need space, focus, and the courage to reject the unnecessary. You are not here to please everyone, you are here to build big. And building big demands order, filters, and difficult decisions. It's not true that you don't have time, it's just that you don't use the time you have well. We all live with the same 24 hours. The difference is not of quantity, it is of intention. There are men who, with 2 free hours a day, transform their body, their finances, and their mind. How do they do it? With structure, with systems, with clear priorities. While others complain about the clock, they are already executing. Time is neutral, what is not neutral is the way you manage it. If you decide to design each day with intelligence, your money yields more, your mind is ordered, your energy multiplies, and your life is reconfigured. You can't build anything solid if your day is a tombola. You need rituals to anchor you, blocks of focus to protect you, and moments of reflection to refine you. Mental, physical, and emotional order feed each other. A well-planned calendar generates clarity, a tidy room brings peace, a clear mind makes better choices. And an organized life becomes unstoppable, not because it's perfect, but because it knows where it's going. This is your new standard, not to do more, but to do what is necessary with intention, with focus, and with discipline. Therein lies the way out of chaos, therein lies the birth of freedom, therein lies the forging of a truly organized and therefore powerful man. Organizing your life does not only mean rearranging your agenda or cleaning your desk. It also implies a deeper purification, that of your relationships. Because it's no use having an impeccable calendar if you share it with people who drain you, sabotage you, or constantly pull you down. Many underestimate the impact of their human environment. They think they can thrive in the midst of empty conversations, constant complaining, teasing, and emotional chaos. But trying to move forward surrounded by negativity is like running with a backpack full of rocks. Possible, yes, but unsustainable. If you want real order in your life, you must put your ties in order. Take an honest inventory. Does this person push me or hold me back? Does he or she inspire me or anesthetize me? Does he or she challenge me to grow, or does he or she lull me into mediocrity? This is not about coldness or cruelty, but about protecting your most valuable resource after time, your energy. And if you waste it in unnecessary drama, in purposeless arguments, or in relationships that don't move forward, your whole system collapses. Order is also emotional, social, and energetic. So it shows not only in what you do, but in who you surround yourself with and what conversations you allow into your day. Start by setting clear boundaries. You don't have to instantly respond to every message. You don't need to be available to everyone. You are not responsible for carrying other people's problems. Learning to say "not now, I need to focus" is an act of wisdom, not selfishness. No man can build greatness if his energy is hijacked by others. Disorder also takes the form of people, and it is necessary to recognize it with courage. But it is not enough to move away from what holds you back. You must also move closer to what lifts you up. Seek to surround yourself with those who live with intention, those who take care of their time, those who talk about ideas and not just complaints, those who think about solutions and not problems. When you share with men and women who already live with vision, with discipline, and with focus, you absorb their energy, and their quiet demand drives you to grow. What surrounds you shapes who you are, whether you accept it or not. And if you don't find that environment, create it. Don't put your development in someone else's hands. You choose who you follow in networks, what content you consume, what information enters your mind. Every stimulus you allow has a direct effect on your energy and focus. Without filters, you become contaminated. And when you become polluted, you lose clarity. When you lose clarity, you slow down your progress. It's as simple as that. A truly organized man is also a selective man. He knows how to choose what he says yes to, what he says no to, and, above all, with whom he walks. No one can build a powerful life surrounded by human chaos, by energies that do not understand his vision, by emotions that do not correspond to him. You are called to more, and to get there you need order on every front: physical, mental, emotional, financial, and relational. Everything is connected, everything is affected. Putting order in your relationships is not pride, it is responsibility. Your environment reflects your decisions, and if you want your life to reflect greatness, your environment must begin to resemble that greatness from now on, without excuses, without fear, with firmness and clarity. Because organizing your life is not just about schedules or tasks, it also implies having a clear purpose. Many men fill their day with activities, fulfill other people's agendas and run non-stop, but they remain empty because they never ask themselves if their effort really takes them to where they want to be. True order is born of purpose. Without a what for, everything becomes a burden. With a what for, everything becomes meaningful. And when you know where you're going, ordering your life is no longer an obligation, but a natural consequence of that clarity. That is the standard of a man who wants to transcend: clarity of vision, filters in his relationships, direction in every action. Because true order is not only about time and productivity, it is about building from purpose a life with meaning, power, and direction. The organization should never be seen as a final destination, but as a bridge to a life with intention. It's not about obsessing over schedules or lists, but about giving direction to every decision, choosing a route instead of being swept along by the current. But before you can order your schedule, your environment, or your space, you need to define where you want to go. What man do you want to be? How do you want to live 5 years from now? What relationships do you want to cultivate? What footprint do you want to leave? Those answers are what decide what deserves a place on your calendar, in your portfolio, and in your environment. Purpose is the great filter. Whatever strengthens it stays, whatever weakens it is removed. And here's a key point: you don't need to have it all figured out to get started. In the beginning, your purpose may be fuzzy, it may even transform over time, and that's natural. The only thing you can't allow is to live in automatic, without questioning anything. Organization starts with honesty, with stopping to evaluate, with correcting your course from time to time. Think of an airplane pilot. He doesn't fly in a perfect straight line, but he knows exactly what his destination is, and so he makes small adjustments constantly. You must do the same. Because without review, clutter returns. Without reflection, mistakes are repeated. Without intention, time is diluted. Use your purpose as a compass. Every time you hesitate, ask yourself if that action brings you closer to or further away from the man you want to be. Even if you don't have a definitive answer, the simple fact of asking yourself the question takes you out of autopilot and awakens your conscience. When you take control in this way, your energy changes, your environment adjusts, your decisions become firmer, and your life acquires a different rhythm. You no longer follow the chaotic rhythm of the modern world, but the strategic rhythm of a man who knows what he wants and organizes himself to achieve it. You don't need more hours or a second chance. You need to sit down with yourself and redefine priorities. Where there is order there is power, where there is purpose there is direction, and where there is direction there are results. Internal clarity always turns into external action. And when that happens, no obstacle can stop you. A man of purpose does not live by fleeting motivation, he lives by structure. And that structure is built step by step, decision after decision, day by day. That is where the real transformation begins, and you have already started it. Now, putting your life in order also means putting your finances in order. Because it's no use having solid habits, healthy relationships, or a strong mindset if your personal finances are in shambles. Financial clutter brings anxiety, stress, and a permanent sense of vulnerability. And there is no authentic growth in the midst of economic uncertainty. Nor is there freedom if every expense feels like guilt or if your money disappears without you knowing where it's going. The key is not how much you earn, but how you manage what you have. It's not about higher income, it's about discipline and intention in managing your resources. Many men have good incomes, but their lifestyle eats them up. They spend without a plan, buy on impulse, go into debt for show, and in the end wonder why they don't get ahead. The answer is simple: you can't get your life in order if you don't get your money in order. Money is not everything, but it influences everything. Your peace of mind, your mental health, your opportunities, and your ability to decide freely. Therefore, the first step is not to earn more, but to look at your numbers. Make a budget, identify how much comes in, how much goes out, and where it goes. What you don't measure doesn't get better. Be brutally honest. Write down your fixed expenses and record the variables for the last month. No excuses or justifications. Only then will you discover the leaks that rob you of freedom and the adjustments you need to implement. From there, set a minimum savings percentage, even if it is 5%. It doesn't matter the amount, what matters is the habit, because saving is training the mind to prioritize the future over the momentary whim. And that mentality is what opens the door to any profound transformation. Financial order is not a punishment, it is a power base. It's what allows you to decide calmly, invest with vision and live with dignity. And there is an uncomfortable truth that you must accept. If you do not know how to live with less than you earn, you will always be poor, even if your income multiplies. Because true freedom comes not from income, but from control. That control begins by eliminating emotional expenses, stopping justifying whims with phrases like "I deserve it" or "you only live once." Yes, you deserve wellness, but not an ephemeral wellness that clutters your life every month. You deserve to live well, but not at the expense of your peace of mind. You deserve to enjoy, but with strategy, not guilt. And that can only be achieved when you understand that managing your finances is an essential part of your life, not an isolated detail. Because money is a direct extension of your internal structure. If your mind is chaotic, your economy will reflect it. If your time is a mess, your expenses will be too. By organizing your money, you are training your discipline, your ability to decide clearly, to postpone gratifications and to think big. That training turns you into someone different, someone reliable, someone who not only knows how to generate, but also how to manage, someone who not only dreams, but also builds with a solid foundation. Because if you organize everything but your finances, you leave an open crack through which your energy, your opportunities, and even your self-esteem escape. Financial organization is not just a technical calculation, it is an emotional, mental, and spiritual work. It is your way of sending a clear message to life. I respect what I receive, I manage it with intention, I multiply it with vision. And life responds to that attitude. Stress goes down, your focus grows, opportunities appear. You are no longer in survival mode, you are in direction mode. You no longer react, you decide. So start in a practical way, review your accounts, prepare your budget, eliminate the unnecessary and prioritize what expands you. Make a commitment to yourself to maintain financial order regardless of the amount you earn, because it's not about quantity, it's about mentality. If your mind is focused, your money will be too. And when that happens, you're ready to really grow, with structure, strategy, purpose, and power. But order in your life isn't just about money. You also need solid routines that function as the daily foundation of your energy, your focus, and your clarity. Many men despise the value of a routine because they think it's repetitive or boring, when in fact it's one of the most powerful weapons of successful men. It doesn't rob them of freedom, it gives them structure to use it intelligently. A routine is not a prison, it is a runway. Without it, every day begins in chaos. Your body takes time to activate, your mind wanders, your energy is wasted and you end up exhausted, frustrated, with the feeling that the day has gone by without leaving anything important behind. In contrast, a well-constructed routine is like a mental armor, a set of decisions that you no longer discuss, that align you with your priorities and that free up mental space to concentrate on what really moves your life. Every decision you leave to chance consumes willpower. And if every morning you have to convince yourself to do the right thing, you waste energy that could be used to move forward. That's why it all starts in your morning. That first hour of the day sets the direction for the rest. Do you wake up late, check your cell phone, rush around aimlessly? Or do you wake up with intention, breathe, move your body, think and write down what matters? The first hour defines your day. If it's in chaos, it drags down the rest. If it's in order, it drives everything else. You don't need 3 hours of rituals, just simple but consistent habits. Get up early, hydrate, move your body, read something that nourishes your mind, write down your priorities, be grateful. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's about doing it consistently. Consistency is the real power. Then, structure the rest of your day. Divide your day into blocks. When you work, when you rest, when you learn. Do not mix everything. Each block should have an owner, each hour should have a purpose. Multitasking is a silent enemy. It makes you feel busy while sabotaging your progress. Focus on one thing at a time, but do it with excellence. Use timers, eliminate distractions, set clear goals. Organizing your life also requires organizing your emotional world. Because no matter how much you work, plan or control your environment, if you don't manage how you feel, you will end up sabotaging your own progress. Many men believe that organization is only strategy and logic, forgetting that their emotions determine their daily behavior. Without inner peace, there is no constancy. Without emotional order, there are no firm decisions. Emotional balance is not visible to the naked eye, but it is the invisible foundation of every stable life. Your emotions are not your enemy, but neither are they your commander. They are signals, information that you must learn to read without letting them rule you. If anxiety appears, observe it. If anger arises, look for its root. If sadness arrives, give it space without losing yourself in it. True maturity begins when you understand that you are not what you feel, but what you decide to do with what you feel. Many men repeat cycles. They get motivated, act, stumble, get frustrated and give up. That is not a lack of character, it is a lack of emotional management. Because motivation drives, yes, but it doesn't last forever. What really sustains you is the ability to move forward even when you don't feel like it. That can only be achieved with internal structure, observing, processing, and acting with focus beyond emotions. A powerful practice is to dedicate a few minutes a day to introspection. Review how you felt, what triggered you, what hurt you, what made you happy. Write it down if necessary. What is not named becomes entrenched, and what is repeated without awareness becomes a pattern. Detecting your emotional triggers is key to deactivate and transform them. It is not about repressing, but channeling. Sadness can be reflection, anger can be energy to act, anxiety can be a reminder that you must correct your course. This inner work is uncomfortable, but essential. You cannot order the external if inside you are in chaos. Sooner or later it seeps in. Learn to see your emotions as indicators, not absolute truths. Not every intense emotion deserves immediate action. Not every negative thought deserves your attention. You are here to lead, and that also means governing your inner world with firmness and compassion. Your peace is not randomly found, it is built. And when you cultivate it every day, it becomes your anchor, your refuge, and your most stable source of power. If you really want to organize your life, start by organizing your emotional world. Not to eliminate pain, but to understand it. Not to stifle what you feel, but to transform it into fuel. Every emotion is an opportunity to know yourself, to strengthen yourself and to grow. When you practice it consistently, your life becomes clearer, lighter, and more focused. You stop dragging, you move forward steadily. You leave the autopilot, you live with intention. And in a world saturated with emotional noise, you become an exceptional man, not just someone who plans with precision, but someone who lives in peace. And from that peace, everything else flows with order, direction, and power. Organizing your life is not just a matter of habits or productivity. It is a profound decision about who you are, how you want to live, and with whom you share your path. No matter how hard you try, how disciplined you are, or how clear your vision is, if your human environment is not aligned with your growth, your progress will be slower, confusing, and often frustrating. The people you choose near you are an extension of your mind and your energy. Some lift you up, motivate you, push you to be better, while others distract you, fill you with noise, drag you into habits you no longer want to keep. So the first step is to take an inventory of your relationships. Ask yourself, who inspires me to be more disciplined, more focused, and more aware? Who discourages me, makes me doubt, or keeps me in mediocrity? It's not about judging or breaking bonds out of pride, it's about making mature choices. Many comfortable relationships are actually toxic to your future. Friends who normalize chaos, partners who don't share your vision, family members who project their fears. All of them may be sabotaging your progress without you noticing. The second step is to set clear boundaries. Define what you do and don't allow in your relationships. Decide which conversations you accept and which you block. Do it with actions, not just words, because respect is modeled, not demanded. When you take yourself seriously, your environment also begins to reorganize itself. People who resonate with you move closer, those who don't, move away. Living in order means surrounding yourself with healthy, clear relationships based on mutual purpose, not emotional need. This includes your digital relationships. Consume content that uplifts you, that challenges you, that inspires you to think deeper and be better every day. But don't forget that the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. If your internal clutter reflects external clutter, you need to start there. Treat yourself with discipline, yes, but also with patience and compassion. Learn to support yourself, to trust yourself, to move forward even when no one is watching. Because when you are right with yourself, your energy becomes stronger, your focus clearer, and your decisiveness firmer. You don't need to have everything figured out to get started. You can take control of a small part: your schedule, your room, your finances, your food, your social circle. Start where you can today. Every decision you make to tidy up gives you clarity, builds your confidence, and shows you that you are capable of sustaining yourself and moving forward one step at a time. Don't expect perfect conditions, Change happens in the midst of chaos, not out of it. Greatness is built with direction and imperfection, with constancy and vision. Organized living is not about becoming a productive robot. It is about becoming a man with meaning, purpose, and control over his life. It is choosing each day how to spend your time, your energy, and your attention, and doing so with intention. Living in order is liberating because it allows you to create, move forward, and build without starting from scratch every time you stumble. When each piece of your life finds its place, you find yours too, and that order is transformed into strength, direction, and power. If you want your transformation to be real and sustainable, start today. Observe your environment, review your connections, establish boundaries, and work on your relationship with yourself. Every small step counts, and, with consistency, your life will begin to reflect the discipline and clarity that is already within you. Now I want to invite you to take this process one step further. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we share tools, tips, and strategies to organize your life, strengthen your discipline, and grow with purpose. Participate in the comments and tell me, why do you think you find it hard to organize your life? What is the factor that is preventing you from doing so? Sharing your experience not only helps you, but can inspire others to take action and create real change. Remember, life doesn't wait. Order begins today, and you have the power to activate, defend, and sustain it. Don't let others do it for you. This is your responsibility, your opportunity, and your path to a fuller, more focused, and powerful life.